Greetings one and all, my name is Lancer and welcome back once again to Fate Zero. We're watching episode 15 and last time on, the Battle of the Meon River. All the servants going against Caster except for Archer and Berserker who are fighting each other, which is fitting because their masters, Tokiomi and Karia, are also fighting each other as well. And meanwhile, Kiritsugu took it upon himself to kill Ryunosuke. Ryunosuke in his final moments realizing that the guts he was looking for were inside him all along, as he then got domed with another bullet. And while Kiritsugu is trusting in the servants and their chivalric spirit to find a way to defeat Caster. Let's get right into the episode. Back to it. Saber has an anti-fortress noble phantasm. Oh, I love the chunks in the water. These two episodes back to back are like a movie, man. That's a lot of the second half of the show is just like these movie quality episodes. I mean, the whole show's movie quality. Let's be fair. But these two especially. Got this up in the heavens as well. Gilgamesh literally above everything.
So what now, Mad Dog?
I'm fucking tweaking. Karia doing more damage to himself. Bastard. Take a shot every time Karia says bastard. You will not make it past this episode.
Saber!
Now we're even.
If only Saber could use her left hand.
If only. If only there was a way. It'd be funny if they were like, Saber, Lancer, fight right now and deal with it. Because Ryder takes him into Ionian Hetairoi in a minute and just like, hey, in that time, you two fight and figure it out. Would that be truly honorable?
Let us withdraw!
Don't be a fool! We must stop its advance!
But we're in a stalemate! Just fall back for now! I have an idea. For the time being, I will drag that beast into my Ionian Hetairoi. But it will be impossible for my elite troops to slay it.
Yeah.
Best we can hope for is to halt it.
And after that?
No idea. My bounded field and its army will only hold for a matter of mere minutes. Heroic spirits, I want you to find some way for us to prevail.
He's saying heroic spirits obviously to Saber and Lancer, but also Irie and Waver too. It's interesting showing Ryder, just like, even Ionian Hetairoi, which is shown to be really powerful, it's really only powerful in the right circumstances. Assassin had no way to counter that, but Caster, as big as he is and just the regeneration, I kind of wish we could have seen how that fight was going on the inside, but the king putting faith in his knights.
Boy, disembark. You're staying here with them.
Yeah.
Once my reality marble is deployed, I will not know what is going on in the outside world. If anything happens, concentrate and call to me. I'll send a messenger to you.
Trust in him. Figure out a plan. Meanwhile, it's a case of just like, do these two really need to be fighting right now? But it's also like, it's really cool. It's a fucking military jet controlled by Berserker and Gilgamesh's space jet that was made because of an Indian god or something. I don't remember. The ship is called the Vimana, Throne of the Heavens Soaring King. It was passed down from Babylon to India, recorded in the two epic sagas, Ramayana and Mahabharata. It's actually fueled by a solar crystal. It's solar powered. Within the myths of ancient India, it was apparently loaded with a variety of weapons ranging from ancient machine guns to ancient nuclear warheads. That's enough type moon for today, at least looking at the wiki.
You only prolong the inevitable.
We're just having a good time up here. The mist is expanding. I think it's time to go home. Time for Thomas to leave. He had seen everything. Ionian Hetairoi.
How does plunging headfirst into that filthy creature sound to you, you mongrel?
Two birds with one stone, or one F-15. Make his own air brakes. He'll come for you next. Can we not use the Ionian Hetairoi like halfway and like slice it in half to where Caster's exposed and then Lancer can stab him? I guess it's all or nothing.
All that raging and ranting against me. When it comes time to act, this is all you can do.
I mean, yeah. All the power he has.
Consider this an act of mercy. Intensive Inesharum.
Sheesh.
I'll kill you. Tokiomi.
Surprised the fall doesn't kill him. I guess you could chalk that up to the bugs. And Berserker doesn't feel any of that. If anything, the pain makes him stronger. I've always kind of took the Karya Berserker Master Servant thing as Berserker takes all the mana and he doesn't really feel any backlash from Karya. Because some servants we see, it's just like their master gets injured and they're like, oh, like they feel like a bit of the pain, or at least that they're in danger. Berserker doesn't feel any of that. To be fair, he's like all roid rage. He's also an altar, I think, but we'll talk about that another time. Karya probably should have died from that. If not the fire, the fall.
But if we don't think of something really fast, we'll be right back where we started.
This is a cool team. Waver, Irie, Saber, and Lancer. And they're the ones that ultimately pulled us together, with obviously Ryder.
Don't you have any ideas? Say something.
Leave her alone.
Wait a minute. I don't know how to use this.
I don't know how to use this. Figured you give it to Saber. She could do it, but why does she have the phone if she can't use it? I don't know how to use this, but also she doesn't have her touch still, right?
Wait, who is this?
You must be Ryder's master. Good timing. There's something I want to discuss with you.
Oh, damn, it's not Irie. I was gonna start whispering sweet nothings in your ear. Baby.
Ryder's reality marble. When he releases it, can he put down the contents in a specific area?
He can get within 100 meters or so, I think.
A general area.
When the timing seems like it's right, I'll send up a flare. Release Caster directly underneath it. Can you do that?
I can.
One more thing. Give this message to Lancer. Saber's left hand contains an anti-fortress noble phantasm.
That's all you need to know. They'll figure it out from there.
Saber's left hand has an anti-fortress noble phantasm. I see.
A little bit of kind of the Vegeta, but I feel like that's more on Saber. Reminiscent of Goku and Vegeta, just like, you were able to go Super Saiyan 3 when we fought? And Goku just be like, I was saving her for when I actually needed it. Not so much here. It wouldn't have made sense for her to use it against Lancer there. Would have been overkill. The classifications of Noble Phantasms is bullshit, I feel like. In most cases. You can look at all of them and sort of be like, yeah, I get which one that is. Like, obviously Lancer's is an anti-personnel because it's really just meant for one-on-one combat. Kiritsugu made it seem like Ryder's is an anti-personnel as well, which I feel like his is actually more of an anti-army Noble Phantasm just because it could take in multiple people as we saw with Assassin, but it can also be anti-personnel because it can be used on a single person as we just saw with Caster. It's a situational anti-army, whereas Saber's anti-fortress, like, yeah, it can obliterate an armored fortress with one strike. Where I fall into complications with that is just the fact that I guess more of it comes from Aya's classification as an anti-world Noble Phantasm, which is why I keep talking about that Gilgamesh has a sword that can blow up the planet, which makes the power scaling with him hard to judge. But also in Fate's Stay Night, there's a point where Excalibur and Aya have a beam struggle, so that doesn't really add up. I always feel like Excalibur is kind of like a Kamehameha, just where it's like it really depends on the situation. There's times where it could blow up the planet, but if you focus it hard enough, it can... I talked about this last time, but it's as powerful as the writing needs it to be sometimes.
Do you think it's capable of obliterating Caster's monster?
I believe so. But Lancer, my blade and my pride are the same. This wound you inflicted on me is a mark of pride, not shame. If that loss was the price of securing Diarmuid Odine's aid, then it was worth a veritable host.
How does he feel about that, though? Again, Saber's honor, it's just... Okay, so you're willing to sacrifice the lives of thousands of people for your pride? I mean, I know the answer. We heard it before. I mean, her thing was just like, oh, we'll find another way, but it's like, that really is the way. No one else here. I mean, Gilgamesh could do it, but he's not gonna do it. The most you could hope for without it is just to hack away deep enough until you see Caster, and then Lancer can strike him. But he could at least try to use Gay Bow to do the unhealable wound on Caster's thing. I feel like that one's the underrated spear.
I cannot abide this Caster. He finds the despair of others both right and good, and takes pleasure in spreading terror. On my word as a knight, his is an evil that I cannot let go unchallenged.
Yeah.
Lancer, no, you mustn't do that!
Must it be Saber who is victorious today, or Lancer? It is neither of us. What must triumph here today is the path of chivalry. Agreed, heroic Arturia?
Arturia. Snaps it so easily, like a twig. It's honestly painful, just because knowing what the next episode is about, he does all this, sacrifices really like half his power. That's why, honestly, I like Lancer's view of chivalry and honor much more than Saber's. Most people be like, oh, they're the same. It's like, they both abide by the idea just like, you know, honor above all else and chivalry, but it's different because Lancer's is much more personal. Whereas Saber obviously has that personal sense of honor, but I mean, it's more, she's willing to sacrifice herself. And in her view, she thinks that makes it honorable, that everything can be made right because of that. that. Ugh, man, it just sucks. Because it's this moment too. It's just like, I love Lancer so much. Coming off of learning his story and then seeing moments like this, what he's willing to sacrifice, what he knows is the greater good. But ultimately, he gets so shafted in the end, but we'll save that talk for next episode. It's just the fact that next episode follows this one as well is what makes it extra painful, but it's still a really cool moment.
I entrust our victory to the single strike of the King of Knights. I'm counting on you, brave Saber.
Rest assured, Lancer. Upon my blade, I will prevail!
Excalibur awakens.
That is from the Arthurian legends.
Yeah, did you not know? She is Arthur. Not the Arthurian legends, actually the Arturian legends.
Why now?
Speaking of Arthurian legends, do you waste the shot on him?
You dare
Do your
turn
job,
back on
Gilgamesh.
me, you lowly mongrel.
Chaff. And that's really the end of Berserker v Gilgamesh, which is interesting because, I mean, I guess I could talk about it now because they don't really interact ever again. Berserker beats Gilgamesh really both times. Their fight was more gimmicky this time, just with like the fighter jets and the flying around, but Berserker's the perfect counter to Gilgamesh. I mean, we saw it the first time they fought. It was just like everything he threw at him, he was able to catch and re-counter with. I feel like in a one-on-one fight, Berserker always beats Gilgamesh. The only way he doesn't is with Aya, but the only thing with Aya is that it has a bit of a charge-up time. But I mean, so does Excalibur. But speaking of which...
I finally regained the use of my left hand, and now this!
Oh, Karya. Kira's taken an interest in him.
Regardless of its own self-awareness of this fact, a soul instinctively seeks out joy in its life. To investigate thoroughly enough such that you could understand those circumstances.
What would Tokiomi think about this, though? He has healing magic. There it is. The joy. Again, though I wish Kirai's development was a little deeper than just like, oh, he takes pleasure from pain. Other people's pain specifically. Because it's kind of just like, all right, cool, villain ideology. But I like the steps he takes towards getting to it at the very least. It's more the journey than the destination. I just kind of wish it was more specific than just like, I like inflicting pain upon people. He ends up kind of aligning more with Gilgamesh, where it's not even so much that he enjoys inflicting the pain, he just likes seeing people in pain. And he likes watching the story unfold, which is why ultimately it's fucked up what he ends up doing to Karya down the line, more so than just inflicting physical pain to him. But now the plan comes together, Kiritsugu.
What are all these tremors?
An omen that Ryder's reality marble is approaching its limits, I imagine.
Yeah.
I am Mithrinus, soldier of the Hetairoi. I have come here to act as my king's eyes and ears.
I mean, that kind of opens up just like, so can he like manifest some of the Hetairoi in physical form? Because I mean, these guys gave up the chances of ever being servants because they are loyal to Skandar. It's like the one chance this guy's to be like, oh, I'm alive again, so briefly.
Tell him to wait for our signal, then release the bounded field and dump Caster at the designated location.
But it will be a race against time. We of the Hetairoi are no longer able to slow the progress of that horror within the bounded field.
As much as I would like to see what's going on inside the Hetairoi, I do understand obviously why we don't see it, because obviously like Caster's giant CG Cthulhu works because it's nighttime with the fog covering it, but obviously Ryder's reality marble is in a bright fucking sunlit desert, so the CG, you can't really hide that in there, and plus you'd have to like recolor it and reshade it, and it just wouldn't look good. And plus the Hetairoi are all CG too. It just, yeah, it already would add to a probably really expensive episode, but I like it more that you can guess what's going on. Swords, spears are just throwing everything they can at it.
Damn that Berserker. Can't we do anything about him?
Allow me.
Probably should have started with that. He's got the anti-magic.
I am putting an end to this mad warrior.
This is revenge for what happened last time, even though it was Kana's fault. Fucking hell. Anything he can get his hands on. Thank you, Gilgamesh. Always up high. Let's end this. The only thing is, how does Ryder see that? Like, because, I mean, the guy saw it. He's just like, oh, yeah, right there. It's just because, like, he talks... whatever. Giant meatball falling from the sky.
Finally. What took them so damn long?
The only thing, like, I would have liked to have seen them inside the Hetairoi, because I kind of weirdly would have liked to have had a conversation between Caster and Ryder. Just because their views on things, I feel like, are so opposite, but they're both very extravagant. So I feel like there would have been a nice, like, shouting match between the two of them. Here we go. Fate Stay Night fans are familiar with this song. Though, again, for me, it was the other way around. I heard it first in this, and then when I heard it in Fate Stay Night, I was just like, yo, that's the Sword of Promised Victory song. I love this shot of Saber. It always gets me. She's ready.
Oh.
Get the fuck out of there. Of course, he gets a front row seat.
All right now, Saber, show me your best. I shall judge your worth as a heroic spirit.
Well, she's the strongest of them. Cool. Actual spirit bomb of a move.
It is the true embodiment of the sad yet noble dream of all soldiers, past, present, and future, who lie dying on the field of battle.
Everybody gets to witness this.
Holding aloft their dying wish, making certain that their loyalty will not be in vain.
Yeah, I don't know about that. This moment is incredible. Like, there's so much build up to this, because, again, this episode being after the Grail dialogue, because this is Saber's moment to do what Ryder did, basically, where he unleashed Ionian Hetairoi, just like, this is what it means to be a king, at least for me. I mean, Ryder and Gilgamesh kind of talk about it in a second, but it's sad more than anything. Just, I mean, Irie saying here, just their wishes and all this were not in vain. It's like, well, because Saber takes all of it onto herself and unleashes it through Excalibur. You know, Excalibur itself, like, though it's like an iconic weapon, it's a tragic weapon, really. This girl who had such an idea of what a leader should be is the one who pulled the sword from the stone, and through that she was meant to lead. And it's just this move, Excalibur, this ultimate bright light that it is, it's sad because it's like, look at this sword and not me. Have faith in me because I wield this weapon, not because you have faith in my skill. Though it's an awesome moment, it's one of the best in Fate, which I know I'm getting this out before we then see the moment. It kind of gives more credence to what Ryder talks about, which is why I'm glad, like, after he talks about, just like, it's honestly, it just makes me more sad seeing it. But it doesn't make it any less awesome and make me kind of want to cry.
The invincible king is about to cry out the true name of the miracle she wields in her hands.
Let's hear it.
EX CALIBUUUUUUURRRRRR!
Oh my god. Good fucking riddance, Caster. But honestly, I will miss you.
This brilliant light.
Yes, walk towards it.
Oh. Oh.
The light of God. But... yeah.
There is no doubt. This is the light from when Jean and I were blessed with such profound joy.
Come to Fate Apocrypha.
What have I?
What have I done, become? Either way, it is done. Well, rip Caster. It's funny, through this rewatch, this has been the most I've enjoyed Caster. And Ryunosuke, honestly. Just because, I mean, my lens has been opened up to more, like, ideologies and just these different views of these characters. And, well, though I don't support them, obviously, and I don't agree with them, I enjoy them much more than I ever have now. Just because I think their views on the world and the insanity that they're driven to is more fleshed out than most insane characters in a lot of other shows. Especially with their, like, new views on God and all this. I mean, though they're the first really to go in this, it's kind of fitting. I mean, from here on out, every character we lose, it's rough, but those two at least died fulfilled in their characters. Caster in the end kind of questions himself a little bit, just like, what have I done, or whatever, he's still just like, oh, I'm one with Jean again, which it's fun seeing Jean in this again, like this being the first Fate thing I ever watched, and then watching something like Fate Apocrypha where Jean's like one of the main characters in that. Like that shot from Jean from the back that we first see, it's just like that style almost looks exactly like Fate Apocrypha. But then you see her face and it's like, no, that's ufotable, but it's cool. It almost makes me kind of want to watch Apocrypha again, but I'm definitely not doing that on the channel.
Having seen such light, you still refuse to grant her your respect?
That might is the result of her accepting the hopes and dreams of the people of her time. It hurts me because it's so bright.
Yeah.
And because I know that this burden was thrust upon the shoulders of a little girl. What I see is what became of a girl who was never allowed to admire butterflies or flowers or fall in love, but was instead taken hold of by the curse of ideals. It is too painful to look upon.
Which is exactly what makes her so endearing.
Yeah, I like watching the pain. This is the first time they're kind of at odds in terms of their ideologies and views. I mean, though they agree kind of on the ideal of tyrannical kingship, it's more so they are divided here just because, I mean, Gilgamesh, he's in love with Saber. He likes watching her be in pain, whereas obviously Ryder doesn't like that. This girl who never had the chance to be a girl. I mean, there's still the whole Guinevere story, but I don't know. I would like to see the full Fate version of the Camelot story at some point. Not the Grand Order version, just without that.
The unattainable dream she held so dear was certain to explode in a brilliant flare that would burn her to ash. The tears of bitter lamentation she shed, how sweet they'd have tasted as she laid there dying.
You and I will never get along.
You only now realize that fact? What are you going to do, Ryder?
Doesn't mean we can't appreciate each other.
To your righteous anger here and now?
But if you and I were to do battle, it would mean expending more energy tonight than I would care to. If you were to decide that you couldn't pass up the chance to attack, I would be forced to respond in kind.
This once, I shall allow you to escape. There would be no satisfaction in crushing you if you are not in your prime.
Yeah.
Or is it that you yourself are injured from being shot down by that ridiculous lunatic?
I respond to provocation with death.
Well, gotta wait a couple episodes.
Ours will be the epic battle that will determine who is the champion of the Holy Grail War.
It's one of them, that's for sure.
I have yet to decide if there is but one who is worthy of the gift of my greatest treasure, Ryder.
Well, yeah.
In all of heaven and earth, none but I, Gilgamesh, can truly appreciate your destruction.
Yeah, sure.
You who shine so brightly, yet so briefly, come to my arms. This I have decided.
You are mine. Episode 15, Golden Shine. A golden light it was, one that will never be forgotten. Well, that was episode 15 of Fate Zero. Here's the thing with episodes 14 and 15. They're really good. It's a great 1-2 punch. Honestly, watching both of them back to back, it's great. It's just when you rewatch it, it's bittersweet. Just because it's kind of the last triumphant, heroic feeling we ever have in the show. Because from here on out, every episode is a gut punch. Especially next episode, man, but we'll save it. I mean, again, I already kind of talked about just like the whole thing of Excalibur. I mean, when you see Excalibur in Fate Stay Night, it feels more like that, where it's like, oh, that's a cool move and whatnot. And you don't really think about the nuances of it. But this show, every time it's employed, it's like, it kind of hurts. Like a writer said, it's like it kind of hurts to look upon. Even though I always kind of shed a tear a little bit every time I see Saber, you know, do the Excalibur. I will always say it's the best Excalibur in all of Fate. Visually, vocally, the music, it's the best for me. Unlimited Blade Works, I think, only has the one Excalibur moment, which is the end. Fate Stay Night has a good amount of Excalibur moments, but it's Bean, so take that with a grain of salt. And then Heaven's Field has Saber alter Excaliburs, which are really cool as well. It feels the most raw. It almost feels like Saber herself is like crying when she unleashes it. I mean, it's the first time Carrie Walgren ever unleashes an Excalibur. I mean, it's not the last Excalibur, obviously, that we see. We have 2 more, but we hear more of what Gilgamesh's desire is, and well, it's kind of funny because like when you rewatch Fate Zero, the story is really about Kirei and Kiritsugu, them getting to their inevitable endpoints, but also Gilgamesh as well, which, you know, gives credence to how he feels towards Saber going into Fate Stay Night, which I really wish was fleshed out more than what it was, but I mean, this does that too. A woman after my own heart. But yeah, I'm gonna savor this for a little bit because next episode is both one of my favorites and also one of the most painful. But this was a very great send-off to Castor and Ryunosuke. The only deaths really in this that are just like, yep, good riddance, but also fitting. The only characters that really die whole. But well, we will truly enter the second half of Fate Zero as we now get to the payoff of a lot of these character arcs. But either way, this is my reaction to episode 15 of Fate Zero. Join me next time for episode 16 as everything else will be coming out soon. Till next time, I'm Lancer. Thanks for watching.